Hello and welcome back to another CAD clip on AutoCAD 2007 3D, and kind of a really fun lesson, this one, and it's kind of an improvement on a previous command that's been around, but I'll let you get creative as to where you use this. We're talking about the flat shot over here on our dashboard, and I'm using the 3D make, and again, if you can't see this, you can right click on here and you can see the different control panels. So right down here in the corner, working our way around, flat shot, very basic command. And what it does is it takes a snapshot of all the solids, 3D solids that are visible, excludes the text and the 2D objects, and creates a block of that view, a 2D block of that view that you're currently looking at. If I use shift middle mouse and I go over to here, I can get a 2D snapshot, flat shot view of this. So it grabs all the objects. It doesn't let you select the objects. It grabs whatever is visible and then it uses those objects. So I can be, doesn't really matter how zoomed I am when I do this. Okay, I might as well be zoomed out. I can start the command. Very basic. Insert as a new block. If you say replace existing block, you don't get a pick list. You just have to pick a block and then it'll replace it. Okay, we're going to do that later. You can export it more or less like a W block and pick a file and a name. Okay, foreground color, you can pick, the line work. We'll see this. I'll leave this at blue for now. The foreground lines, meaning the lines that are not in the obscured lines, are going to be continuous, and then obscured lines, the lines that are hidden behind over here, do you want to show them or not? And then if you do want to show them, what line type and what color do you want to use inside of here? So we'll go through this a couple of times. First time through, I'm going to say don't show obscured lines. Foreground lines are blue. I'm going to say insert as a new block and hit create, and that's it. Now what it's doing is down on my world UCS, it's asking me for an insertion point just like a block, and I can say B for base point if I want, and then I can pick a point over here in the meantime, scale, etc. Now I pick a point, enter, 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 and now if I go look from the top, okay, I've created a block of that 2D view. That's all it is. If I list it, it's going to give it an odd name, okay, and then I can use my rename tool, or I can even click on the properties and go in here probably. Can I rename it inside of here? Okay, it's not letting me, but we can use the rename tool and say, okay, rename blocks, rename this guy, and call it test 1, hit OK, and then if I list this, this is now a block. Oh, wrong one. Okay, no problem. Use my arrow key to bring back my rename command, grab this guy, which is why I put a 1 on it. Okay, now if I list this, this is the block test 2, and I can W block that or do whatever I want. Okay, now I'm going to go and look at maybe an angled view from over here. Maybe I'll use one of my orbit commands, and then I'll right click and say perspective view, and now I'll get some weird, shift middle mouse, I'll get some weird perspective view and hit enter. And now I'm going to do a snapshot. I'm going to say replace existing block, click on here and zoom out and grab this guy and say replace that block. Okay, foreground color is going to be magenta. The line type is fine. I want to show obscured lines, and I want them to be the color red, and I want them to be dashed, so I hit other, and then I'm going to go in here and do our good old load, go down to our hidden 2, hit OK, apply it, hit OK, create, and then it's done. And if I go back to my top view, now I've got a 2D block of that. Okay, now I probably want to get rid of my perspective, right, by going and starting my command. Okay, now the thing is, I'm not seeing these as dash lines. I need to type my LT scale, probably change it to be 10 maybe. 20. Maybe I'm going to change back to be wireframe instead. Okay, there's my top view again. This is the block I'm playing with that was created with the snapshot, and there's my dashed lines, obscured lines, okay, from that view that I created. And it appears I've lost my perspective aspect as well. Start this again. Not getting my orbit command, but now I've got that block, and you can see that I've specified my line types, etc., based on that particular view. Doesn't look correct from over here. You have to look from the top because that's the UCS it was created in. Okay, and I think I've changed, I'm wondering if I changed the wrong lines. Okay, let's try it again. Let's go to a view over here. Okay, maybe we're going to take this. You see, you can change this and it'll change this after the fact. So the conceptual view will change it even if it's a block. Even if I draw a line right now in my conceptual view, you know, it draws lines like this, and if I change back to be wireframe, it looks like that. So when I do my, it doesn't matter my conceptual view when I start my flat shot, and I'm going to say obscured lines, let's go back to be by layer, okay, don't show them, okay, and yeah, that's fine, create, and then I've made a new block, inserted it, and now if I go back to my top view, there's my new flat shot block that I've created. Okay, if I change my display, that block will change accordingly, and then you can take this, W block it out, and you know, look at it through a viewport with your paper space, or do whatever you want with it. So what you do with that object once it's done is up to you. Depends. Some people will find there's use in this tool. Some people will find it's no use. It's great for reports and stuff, that's for sure. Okay, if you're doing reports or trying to create any sort of little capture the 3D view for any purpose, you might start finding reasons to use this tool. So flat shot, okay, block insertion, etc., foreground, background, there's not a whole lot to it, and then it just follows your visual styles depending on, now will it do a wireframe? See, wireframe doesn't do it, of course, because this is just a block. So quick tool, use it and have fun with it.